This memory from my childhood still unsettles me. I was around 7 or 8 years old at the time. My mom typically took my brother and me out trick-or-treating, but that year she dropped me off at my friend Ryan's house. Ryan, our friend David, and I planned to go trick-or-treating together. David and Ryan were both a year older than me. I had met them when I was playing on our street with my brother. They lived just a few blocks over. Ryan's household was unusual, with a peculiar setup I didn't fully grasp. His sister, who was in her 20s, seemed to act as his caretaker, and the house always smelled like cats. She often had different people over and was distant, never acknowledging me. Ryan's dad wasn't around, and his mom was mostly away working, so I only met her a few times. That Halloween, my mom expected Ryan's mom would be accompanying us. After saying goodbye, I went inside, where David was already waiting. We were all armed with big pillowcases to haul in as much candy as possible. Then I realized neither Ryan's mom nor his sister would be going with us. This left me a little uncomfortable since David and Ryan would be leading the way. But I also felt a thrill of freedom. My mom definitely wouldn't have approved if she knew. As we roamed the neighborhood, we knocked on doors, filling our sacks with treats. A few adults asked if we were alone, to which David always replied that his mom was up ahead with his sister, a lie that seemed to work. Around 5 p.m. we started, and by evening we were back at Ryan's house, eating pizza and watching Halloween specials. When David was picked up later, Ryan and I went back out for round 2, determined to fill our pillowcases completely. It was now past 8 p.m., and we were venturing into a quieter area. That's when we noticed a man pushing a stroller not far behind us. As he drew closer, we could hear him softly shushing and singing. He caught up, asking how our night was going, and offering to give us his leftover candy from his house nearby. Ryan and I shared a look, thinking we'd lucked out. The man mentioned that his daughter was asleep in the stroller, her face hidden by a cover. We followed him to his house, where he invited us inside. Feeling uneasy, I asked if we could leave the door open. He hesitated but agreed. Ryan peeked under the cover of the stroller, his face instantly changing. He whispered, "Let's go," and bolted. Outside, a neighbor approached us, asking if we knew the man. Ryan blurted out that the stroller had a fake baby in it. She gasped, ushered us into her car, and took us home. My mom was horrified when she heard, and we never spoke about it again. Ryan and I stayed distant after that night, and my mom refused to let me go back to his house. It was Halloween night in 2016. My parents assigned me to hand out candy as usual. My mom had stocked up way too much, which meant I'd probably be snacking on it for weeks after Halloween. Our house was at the end of a cul-de-sac, so we didn't get too many trick-or-treaters, but the loyal few knew they could count on us for big candy hauls. Since Halloween fell on a Monday, I had spent the day at home studying and working out before the first kids arrived around 4 p.m. From that time until 8 p.m., the doorbell rang maybe 10 to 15 times. My dog, Milo, barked each time, announcing every visitor. Things quieted down sooner than expected, and I took a break to watch Game of Thrones in my room. Halfway through an episode, around 9:30 p.m., the doorbell rang again. Surprised, I went downstairs to find a tall figure in a clown costume with a mask that covered his entire face, holding an empty brown sack. I didn't open the door. I simply told him we were out of candy and shut the door, locking it. He rang the doorbell again. Milo's barking filled the house, and I felt a prickle of dread as I carried him upstairs and turned off the lights, hoping the clown would leave. Minutes later, I heard the storm door snap as if forced open, followed by the rattling of the front doorknob. My stomach dropped. I grabbed my phone and texted my family. I even called my brother, who brushed it off as a Halloween prank. The doorbell rang once more, and I sat frozen, listening to Milo's low growl from my bedroom window. The next sound startled me. It was coming from outside my window. I peeked through the blinds, and there he was, the clown staring back at me through the glass, tilting his head with that terrifying mask. I screamed and ran, locking myself in my parents' bedroom and calling 911. The operator assured me that the police were on their way. When they arrived, they found the storm door broken and my dad's ladder propped up by my bedroom window, taken from our shed. Whether it was a cruel Halloween prank or something darker, I never found out. That clown never returned, but the memory haunts me every Halloween. It was late October, the Saturday of Halloween, and my friends and I were scrambling for last-minute party plans since everything was sold out. We hoped to find a house party to show off our costumes. My friend Amanda even posted on Instagram and Snapchat asking for party invites, and soon after, she got a message from a guy we knew, Chris, who shared an address, start time, and rules. Mainly indoors only, no backyard, BYOB, and bring one girl per guy. The address was only a town over, so we all met at Lila's place to get ready and pregame. Once our guy friends confirmed they were heading there too, we called an Uber and arrived with drinks in hand, from White Claws to vodka shooters. The house was large with a spacious front yard filled with parked cars, though we noticed it was eerily quiet until we got closer and heard the bass. Inside, the lights were dim and orange, setting a Halloween vibe. We didn't recognize anyone, so Amanda texted the guys we knew to see if they'd arrived. That's when an older man approached us, introducing himself as Greg, the dad of the guy hosting the party. It felt a little odd for someone his age, but he was friendly enough. He led us to coolers in the kitchen for our drinks and offered us shots. It seemed weird for a dad to be so involved, but he was upbeat and talkative, especially with the girls. We joined a beer pong game with some random guys, and just then, Amanda said our friends were on their way. Greg called out Amanda's and my name, offering us more drinks. We tried to include Lila and Aaron, so he poured shots for everyone. Later, he even made mixed drinks tailored to each of our favorites. He kept checking in on us, which felt strange given the age gap. While playing beer pong, I plugged my phone in to charge, but it didn't work, so I gave up on that. Soon after our friends arrived, things quickly became a blur. One second, I was chatting with our friend Sam, and the next thing I knew, I was being woken up in a car outside my house feeling disoriented and woozy. Once home, I crashed immediately, but the next morning I found texts from an unknown number that began with me sharing my name. "You look so cute," it read, followed by, "Where did my favorite girls go?" and more messages around 2 a.m. saying, "I'm at your house. Can you come to the door?" He had even called me 3 times. Horrified, I showed my friends, and they reminded me of how oddly attentive Greg had been, making drinks for us and lingering. That's when things clicked. We all realized that none of us had met Greg's supposed son, and Lila mentioned that I might have been roofied. We decided to report everything to the police. When we got there, the officer at the front desk asked if it was related to the party at the vacant house the night before. Our stomachs dropped. Apparently, the house had been empty for some time. The police took down all the details and promised to look into it, though we've heard nothing since. That was a month ago, and I still haven't received any updates. The thought that a man could go to such lengths to target young women by luring them to a vacant house for a party is chilling, and knowing he could still be out there is terrifying. I'll update if things change, but I hope this disturbing chapter is truly closed.